Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Prince of Wands. This is very consistent energy. I think right now you have been working sort of very, very constantly. You've been persevering in something in your life. I think that you're involved in some sort of a project or an endeavor that seems like it's been taking a long time. But I feel like your level of interest, your level of activity, your level of commitment is still very, very high. Okay, this is some fixed fire energy. This is kind of saying, I'm here and I am working at full capacity and I'm not going anywhere. Okay, so I think that your life has been very, very busy lately, very consistent, very steady in terms of the focus. It's like you've been really like, you've had this hectic schedule for a long time, you know. You're someone that's not going to quit. It's kind of like you have these goals in mind. So yeah, it's going to require a lot of busy days. And, I think maybe with this, we start to wonder like, okay, when are things going to slow down? When am I going to get a little time off? When will I get a break? Because I feel like you've been at this for a long time and it's been even maybe rather routine, but it's been a high level of activity for a long period of time. Okay, now let's put this into some context. Let's see where this activity is leading you, where it's coming from. Oh, we've got the Star card to cross our path. This is wonderful energy. I love the Star card. The Star card is all about the spiritual insight, right? It's all about the revelation of who you are and why you're here. This is very, very good energy. Let's put the rest of our cards out here, see what we have. 5 of Cups, okay. The Art or Temperance card in the background as well. That is your power card. That is the card that rules the sign of Sagittarius. So this is very good, especially with the Star card. I feel like you really have this sense of self, a very strong presence. You very much, I think, had a revelation of your path, of who you are, why you're here, what you're supposed to do. And I feel like that's why you've got that fiery Prince of Wands commitment. Because you've just had this epiphany that this is what I must do, Could be that a little bit of that is changing. There's the 4 of Cups, 5 of Cups. So it is about the emotional fluctuation, kind of like you get a surge of emotions and then they they stabilize, all right? But then we've got an 8 of Cups in the future position. I almost feel as if you're having a difficult time with the emotional aspect of this. That you're here, you're committed, but maybe we're wondering why or when we're going to get to settle down. When am I going to be able to enjoy the fruits of this? When am I going to get a day off? Now we've got the 8 of Pentacles. See, that's kind of knowing that something needs to sort of change. That we need to direct a little bit of our energy toward ourself, self-care, healing, a day off, a little bit of rest, right? This is a common theme for you. But we have the Moon card in the environment. Then we've got the 7 of Wands and, the Empress. Very nice. I wonder if this is really sort of indicating that this is sort of we're sort of coming in for landing now. It feels like that, right? It feels like this is kind of like, you're going to have to fasten your seatbelts because it's going to be a bumpy ride, but we're landing. Things are really, I don't think things are necessarily taking off. I think we're coming in for that gentle landing, but, they, like in an airplane, they tell you to fasten your seatbelts. It does, it could get a little bumpy on the way down, but we're landing right here in this Empress energy, and I think that is spectacular. So I feel like all of your consistent effort is paying off. I feel like right now we're getting a little bit of that sort of the turbulence is in your emotional body. See, this is sort of the headwind that we're facing, and it's a little bit of the turbulent emotional energy. All right, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down over here and put Mr. Ed the tiny horse right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need, all right? And if at any point during this reading you feel like you know what that card is, I strongly encourage you to put a prediction, put anything down in the comments, right? Let's use this as an opportunity to exercise our intuition. Okay, let's take a look around at the general energy here. We've got a lot of good major arcana, very good major arcana. We've got the fiery energy here in kind of you're sort of living this fiery energy right now. But it's also sort of the energy that we don't want, right? More fire, more fight, more struggle against the impossible odds, right? We don't want to feel like this is a never-ending fight, okay? So we've got the fire energy. We've got the water energy. Like I said, the water energy is kind of your headwind. It's what we're sort of facing. It's just maybe even the prospect that this is going to be a never-ending battle, that there is no end in sight here, okay? And so that's why we've got the emotional turmoil. We don't have any air energy. And what that tells me is that you're not second-guessing, you're not doubting anything, you're not questioning your plans, you're not questioning your efforts. There's no doubt that you're going to continue to persevere. But in your heart, in your emotional body, you're just kind of like, when am I going to get a break? When is this going to pay off? When are we finally going to stop, struggling? And when can we come in for that nice, gentle landing and at least, enjoy some of this? When are we going to sort of land into this successful Empress energy? Yeah. So we don't have any air energy, but we do have a little bit of earth down here. Okay. And I think the earth energy really is important because there's only one of these pentacles, only one card of the suit of pentacles. It tells me that it's kind of something important that we need to focus on, okay? And the fact that there's no air is something also that we need to think about, whether that is really just us sort of, not thinking about it, not analyzing it, not doubting it or questioning it. That's a good thing. But maybe this is also talking about how we might need to speak up, because the air energy is sort of the one of the primary ways that we as human beings connect with other people. I mean, it's what I'm doing with you right now. I'm talking to you, So I feel as if maybe there's a need for that. Okay, and we don't see very many court cards at all. Just the one, right? And in the environment, I feel like there's a little bit of darkness here with the moon card. So I feel like we need to focus on some of our interpersonal relationships. We need to sort of have conversations with our people. We need to enjoy that time. We need to even focus on strengthening the relationships that we have with other people. You're going to need those connections. You're going to need your friends. You're going to need your family, your spouse, your lover, whoever it is. You're going to need your people. Okay? Especially when this plane comes in for a landing and we get to that Empress energy, you're going to have this desire to share that with your people, right? So we don't want to neglect those relationships along the way. But let's talk about the star card first of all, because this is the revelation of your destiny. I feel like you know what your path is. I feel like you know who you are and why you're here, where you're going. See, the star is a twofold process. First, it illuminates what's going on within you. When I think right now it's trying to show you that there's this emotional headwind. There's some sort of emotional issue, a blockage, some sort of a knot in there that needs some illumination. It needs some work done on it. Okay? And when we clear ourselves of those blockages, the star, the spirit, the divine energy, whatever you want to call it, fills us with light, okay? Clarity, divine essence, whatever it is. And that light then spills out into the world around us, and we're able to see clearly the path before us. Okay? I think right now maybe the path ahead of you is a little bit clouded by some emotions. It's a little bit clouded by the blockage. Okay? And it's kind of like we're coming in for a landing here to our Empress energy, but the weather's bad. Okay? It's very cloudy. Let's say it's raining and storming or something like that. It's a little bit more difficult to kind of see the runway and figure out how to land this thing. Yeah. But this is definitely showing you what's going on inside of you emotionally. I feel like in terms of your commitment to this life, this project, to these goals, whatever they are, they could be career, could be artistic, it could be in terms of family and relationships too. It could be all of these things. Whatever your primary goals are right now, you're absolutely committed to those. But there is an emotional situation going on with you that needs to be addressed. Okay. I don't know if it's with a particular person. I don't feel that it is. Maybe it's with a Pisces person, but I'm not very confident in that. I feel like it's more of just a sort of general malaise, right? It's almost just like kind of wondering, well, when the heck am I going to be done with this? When can I land? When can I slow down, take a break, take a day off, enjoy the fruits of my labor? When can I, when am I going to succeed in this? Because again, I feel like you've been doing this for quite a long time. Yeah. So the star card is illuminating us inside. And I think right now that's sort of the focus, is to understand what this divine light is trying to show you. Okay, this is a lot of spiritual insight. And I think it really has to do with this with this shield of emotions that you have in front of you here. Okay, down beneath the surface, we've got the 5 of Cups. A lot of fluctuation in your emotions. I think there's good days and bad days. I think that we find some days it's very pleasurable doing this work that we're doing. Other days it kind of don't even want to show up. But you do anyway, very consistent. But this is also, I think, the feeling as if, it's kind of like the fear of missing out. It's kind of like when you're a kid and you're home and you're studying or doing homework. You look out the window, you see all your friends playing, and it's just like, I want to go play too. Maybe the mystery card will be the Fool card. Maybe we'll get to go outside and play. But it's kind of that fear of missing out. It's kind of like I'm so focused on all these things that I'm missing out on a lot. I'm not spending time with my friends, my family. I'm not out having fun. I'm not just kind of watching YouTube or Netflix and just hanging out. You're focused on this very important work that you're doing. And so with a 5 of Cups, sometimes we feel that I don't want to be doing this. I want to go and have fun. I want to go outside and play. I don't want to be stuck in the house doing the work, But behind everything is your superpower card. I feel like this is you really knowing who you are. You know that you are someone who needs the balance between work and play. You need the balance between even heart and mind, right? If we look at any fire and water, even, right, with the art card, the temperance card, you know that a life that is too one-sided, it's too heavy in the work, and too light in the play, is not a balanced life. It's not a meaningful life, right? It loses some sort of significance when it's so kind of one-sided, and you know that. And I wonder if right now you're sort of in that mode where it's starting to feel a little one-sided. Okay? And we could be talking one-sided in terms of your relationships. It could be one-sided in that fact that you're always kind of busy doing the important work. You're not outside playing enough. Okay? And you know the importance of the right mixture of work and play, of running and resting, of striving and yielding, of gas pedal and brake pedal, of fire and water, the sort of the intense activity, and then the so-called inactivity, right? The non-activity. And this is something I think we've talked about a lot with you, and it comes up very often in the Sagittarius readings, that you're someone who needs the balance because you're prone to go into those extremes of just laser focus on the work, and then you kind of forget to take care of yourself, you forget to take care of your relationships, you're not enjoying your pets as much, it's just kind of like you get very narrow because you're that arrow, right? That's why you're able to achieve so much in your life, is because you can do that. But you have to be able to listen, and right now I think the star is talking to you and showing you that, hey, there's a little bit of maybe dissatisfaction brewing, there's a little bit of this malaise or uneasiness or a little bit of queasiness even, right? And it could be that you've kind of felt something in your stomach lately, a little bit of even nausea, that is something just doesn't quite feel smooth. I don't know what that feeling is, but it's just that it able to relax. It feels like there's a little, like literally a knot in your stomach somewhere. Yeah. Going up top, we see the Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups is the other side of things, because with the Five, we feel, gosh, this really is a squeaky chair. The Five of Cups being the sort of the movement of the water energy toward this feeling of, I want to be over there doing that. I feel like I'm missing out on something, On the other hand, this is sort of like we got over that feeling. It's kind of, it's like, well, if I just ignore it long enough, it's going to go away. It's kind of like the Four of Cups in the Rider-Waite-Smith, where they're just someone under a tree like this, Spirit's trying to hand them a goblet full of whatever, water, apple cider, tea, and the person's just sort of refusing it, not looking at it, and just saying, if I ignore it long enough, it'll go away. Okay? And I feel like it does. I feel like that feeling passes, Very funny, not to put my daughter on the spot or anything. She's 4 years old. But she, sometimes when we're playing and stuff, I have to encourage her, okay, go use the bathroom, And then she'll say, no, I don't have to go. It wandered off. And I find that to just be, it's adorable. She's so cute. But it's just so funny. She said, no, it wandered off. But I say, yeah, but it'll be back. It will always come back. And that's the Four of, and the Five of Cups. Anytime we get a Four of Cups, what do I say on this channel? We're looking for the Five. Anytime we get a Five, I say, you can expect the Four. Or we're looking for a Four. And you have, of course, both of those. If you ignore it, it will come back. Okay? And what we're doing there is we're creating this sort of cloud in us, in our vision, where, because see, the star, again, is the energy that once we get the light inside of us and we're all clear, we can see the runway. We can see the path before us. The path sort of illuminates, like it's got those solar lights in the ground, But if we are creating this sort of uneasiness, this sort of fog or this storm or this cloud cover, we can't see that light. We can't see that runway very well. Okay? And that's what we have with the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups, to me, feels as if we're trying very hard to keep the airplane together. We got duct tape and super glue, but we're losing altitude. We're losing fuel. We're losing water and air pressure and whatever. The cups are leaking. The water is draining out. The cups are chipped and broken, and they're not really able, some of them are already empty. The rest are kind of losing water fast. And we're trying to just sort of patch it up because we got to keep the plane going, right? Because we don't realize that we're so close to landing on the runway's right there, but we can't see it. So we're going to go to the path of the serpent now. As we do this, of course, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free, helps out the channel, and I do appreciate that. Before we go to the path of the serpent, I want to look at an empowerment oracle card. These cards are great. I tend to pull these cards out when we get a little too much water of the wrong kind, okay? These are they're empowering. And here we go. The adventure of life. I embrace the adventure of my life. Today, I am courageous enough to try something difficult to achieve my goals. Very nice. I love that. I love these cards. These are beautiful cards. The adventure of life. So we're talking about courage. We're talking about the courage to try something difficult to achieve your goals. Okay? And I think that going through this sort of cloud cover, trying to find a landing, even with all of this going on, I think is really it's a very difficult thing. You know, I've never flown a plane, but it's something I've been interested in for a long time, and I feel like it's very difficult. It's a whole different set of rules when you're going just on the instrument flight rules, you know, rather than the visual flight rules. If you can't see outside the window, it changes the whole ball game. Yeah. And I feel like right now you're having a hard time seeing out the window. But Eight of Pentacles, general energy. It is one of patience. This is sort of a cleaning the windows, you know. This is self-care. And we talk about this a lot with you on this channel in the Sagittarius readings. I think self-care is something that you very often forget about. It slips your mind sometimes. We need to focus on that. And I think maybe, you know, it's even the idea of kind of turning down the gas a little bit, slowing down. You know, when you're approaching a landing in a plane, I'm pretty sure you got to ease back on the throttle a little bit, you know. But this card's a reminder that we're trying to achieve this goal in life, but we want to be there to enjoy it too. If you're really just kind of burning the candle at both ends, wearing yourself out, living your life at the red line to achieve your goals, then by the time you achieve them, you're going to be in no shape to enjoy them. Okay? So we've got to focus on the self-care, and we've got to focus on what that really means to you. I feel like the health of your physical organism really depends on us clearing out this emotional blockage sort of thing. Okay? The Moon card, the other major arcana energy, in the position of your relationships, I almost wonder if you can't see the runway, right? The landing strip or whatever. And you can't really see, or maybe you do sort of see the landing. Let's say you do see the runway. I feel like you can't see anything there. It reminds me of that one, what's that one Stephen King thing? The Langoliers, right? Where they wake up on the plane, there's only a handful of people on the plane. They land, and there's nobody at the airport. There's not a soul around until monster comes or whatever. I remember watching that movie as a kid, and it really stuck with me. And I haven't seen it in 20 years. I kind of feel like this is that we see, like, maybe in our imagination we think, yeah, I'm gonna achieve all these goals, but who do I have around me? Who's gonna be there? It's gonna just be an empty airport, you know. I think that this really is the indication that we've got to recognize our people. We've got to strengthen our bonds, not only healing ourselves and taking care of ourselves, but we've got to reach out and make those connections with your people, your friends, your family. Those are important people to you. And it could be that you have been so focused and so narrow on this goal, working so hard, being so persevering and so tenacious, that I'm trying to get out of the royal we that I always do here. You have maybe sort of lost connection or fallen sort of out of touch with people in your life. Okay? This is also, I think, a very strong confirmation that I don't think we know how close we are to the runway, to the goals, to really achieving this, and to reaching this point where you can sort of land the plane and get off and at least, stretch and get some fresh air and go. Maybe it's a layover, right? It could be. This might not be the final destination, but the idea here of setting her down and refueling, fixing the plane, fixing up your, getting a meal, that sort of thing, right? Because this is a dark doorway. This is kind of saying that we really can't see what's outside the window. We look through the door, we look out the window, it's just pitch black out there. Okay? And you imagine flying a plane, you look out the window, it's just pitch black, you can't see anything. Can't see stars, can't see city lights down there, certainly can't see the runway lights. It's a rather frightening thing. It sort of is an isolating feeling when we look around and we don't see, it almost has this feeling like we're kind of lost, For this card, I like to do a divine doorway card because this is a divine doorway. But this is one where right now we can't see what's on the other side of it. So it's really, you're not able to see the Empress because all you're seeing is just kind of more of a holding pattern perhaps, or just more flying, right? It's just more empty space of you kind of doing the consistent work. It's a never-ending journey, right? So let's do one divine doorway card for that moon energy. And we've got secret sketches. Wander and seek the familiar and friendly kind. Draw memories in sketches for others to find. I think it really is connecting with people that, not so much with new people, connecting with your old people, right? Seek the familiar and friendly. Draw memories in sketches, right? It's kind of, it's even maybe referring to, let's say, talking to some old friends. Here's the image of that doorway. These are very, very beautiful cards. It might be about reconnecting with people that have been there for you, that you sort of lost touch with because you've been so hyper-focused on your goals, on your success. Reconnect with those people. It may not be referring to meeting new people, but connecting with those people that have always meant something to you, and you realize that maybe you haven't talked to them in a few months, years maybe, right? Okay, next card is that Seven of Wands that we see, and that's the never-ending battle, right? This is the feeling that we just got to keep fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and flying the plane. It's just kind of like the Prince of Wands is just never going to stop. It's just going to be this forever, right? That's your fear, worry, and concern. Okay, this is the card we don't want. We don't want the never-ending journey, never-ending battle. Okay. What we do want, however, is that Empress. That is the goal. That is kind of setting this airplane down. That's finding the runway and landing the plane safely and getting out, and all your people are there. And maybe this is just a layover, but this is a layover that we like. We're happy to be laid over here in a paradise, right? I don't know what your idea of paradise is. Everybody has different things. It could be someplace tropical, right? It could be a wilderness somewhere. It could be somewhere in Arizona. I don't know. It could be Hawaii. I've never been to Hawaii, and my wife doesn't want to go, but I think maybe one day we'll try it, if we can afford it. But this is sort of setting it down and reaching a certain milestone in your life, in this big project, or whatever your life goals are. Being able to sort of set things down for a few minutes and fuel up the plane and repair the plane, get something to eat. Maybe it's even, the flights are delayed, you gotta stay in the hotel for a couple nights or something. It's just a break, it's just something different, right, than what is sort of has been, I think, the very consistent push. This is now sort of taking a detour for a little bit. And again, this is not an uncommon theme in your readings. It's something that I think we talk about pretty often. But there's also the idea that this might literally be your final destination. This might be exactly where you're kind of wanting to be. And maybe we never really knew exactly what it would be like, but this is where we're going to land the plane. And maybe this could be a layover, or we could just say, hey, I like it here. This is where I want to stay. I don't need to take off and go fly further. This is perfect. Okay. And I think that we don't have the swords cards here. One, because I think you need to talk to your people. You need to reestablish communications with your people that mean something to you, from from your past, really, because I feel like it's been a while. But there's also the absence of swords cards, because I don't feel as if you had a definite plan or a definite description, very precise sort of details about where you're going and what the goal looks like. The Empress is kind of saying that when you get there, if it feels perfect, if it feels wonderful and great, it feels like paradise, why leave? Okay, and I think you're open to that. You're open to this goal that's a little bit vague, but you'll know it when you get there. Rather than having all the swords cards and then we say, okay, we have a very specific idea of what the goal is, and if that's not it, we're going to keep flying the plane. This is kind of like, I'm just going to fly around until I land somewhere that feels like paradise. It feels like this is home. It feels like this is the last stop. Yeah. And maybe this is it. Maybe this is the one. Let's look at the mystery card over here. It could be the Fool. It could be the Empress. It could be the Star again. It could be 9 or a 10 of Pentacles. Kind of this is the best life, and it shows that you're kind of, this is where you landed and you just kind of stayed, and this is home, you know. Maybe it'll be the Chariot card. I don't know. Let's take a look. Put your prediction down in the comments. Oh, Judgment, Rebirth, Reawakening, the Baptism by Fire. It's kind of like Spirit, it's the alarm clock now. It's kind of like that landing alarm that just kind of says, you know, hey, warning, 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 we're getting close to the runway. It's time to put the gear down and the flaps and slow down and land the plane. It's waking you up to your new life. Maybe we've been on autopilot for a long time. Now this is the alarm system going off, saying, hey, you've got to take control and you got to set her down. Yeah. This is a doorway as well. This is a doorway that now you can see what's on the other side of it, but it's a fiery doorway, right? It's made of fire. So it's taking this fire energy and this consistency for you to get here. And it might be that this is really the wake-up call that says, hey, you've got to do the difficult thing now, which is to set her down nice and easy. And it's just like we saw with this, that it might be moving into a different phase, that Empress phase, where we're not traveling in search of a destination anymore. We've arrived. Now it's just a matter of unloading our stuff and building our home, building our life here in this new place. Yeah. But I feel like this is the definite wake-up call. Spirit is blowing that trumpet in your face saying, get off autopilot, bring the plane down and start your new life here. Yeah. I love this reading for you, and I think that this really has been sort of building up over the last few weeks. Yeah. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Sagittarius are on Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. All right. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Totally free. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.